I'm Bill Kopp.
I'm Tom Minton.
Tom, you're the producer of this, Tom.
Bill, you're the writer and director.
So we're going to tell you about how we go about making a cartoon.
Yes.
We're going to be looking at what we call an animatic, and this is actually the storyboard drawings. And we cut them together and get a feel for the timing.
It looks like a comic strip.
Right. It's a way for us to do, well, two things. One is to visually get the story figured out. And also, shooting them like this, we're able to get a sense of how long each scene is going to be.
And the staging, where the character is going to be.
This is a very important stage because everything else is going to rely on this. And
Yeah.
we make a lot of changes and last-minute adjustments, which is why the drawings can be rough at this stage.
How it plays as a picture. That's the most important thing.
Now, this is the very first stage of animation.
Pencil test.
Pencil test, and it's, as you can see, it's exactly like the storyboard, except drawn better.
A lot of
and it's moving for real now.
filling out the action.
And you can see our color background there. Now we can look at this and we can make any changes we feel are necessary before we go to final animation and color.
This is to see if everything's working together.
Yeah, and to see if everything is breaking properly in this house. I love destroying this house.
Chris Hedrick was a storyboard artist who drew these sections. He's grabbing his arrows there, and this is the harp.
Yeah, we had him strumming that harp, I think, and we took that little bit out. And here's the final color version. We give them this very expensive, fancy home because we knew we were going to destroy everything in it. And it's more fun to break valuable things.
One thing you'll notice here is this animation, if you compare this color footage with that in the final picture, you'll notice this is longer. It goes on longer, it's slower. This is the first time anybody's ever done this on a DVD. We're showing you the dirty laundry. We're showing you the thing that's what we do before we fix it. This needed to be a little bit amped up, a little bit faster, snappier. Tom always chases Jerry. That drives the action.
Of course, sound effects add a lot to a cartoon.
And music.
And music. Oh, yes, we spared no expense there.
That's it. Amazing.
Amazing. There you go. This was a sequence in Space Place with the centrifuge. I guess they put their astronauts in there to see if they can make them sick or something. This was a sequence that had us worried because it was a complicated bit of action, and we weren't sure if we'd be able to get it right. We changed a lot of stuff around here, so some of these drawings were done very quickly. So Jerry locks Tom in here.
And again, I find some shots out of order and different order and everything, so we adjusted things.
We boarded this and went, wow, it looks so good on the storyboard. I hope they can do it.
And they did a spectacular job.
They did. I think it was
one of the first things that came back.
And it was also done correctly. I don't believe there was any errors.
It was done totally well by hand, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Most artists don't like drawing things that are very technical. In
Machines,
this industry,
yeah.
And you can see it's sort of roughly drawn here on the board. Because if ever anything's screened to be done by CGI, it's this centrifuge. It's all technical drawing.
This was the stuff where the ball comes off and starts getting banged around by the pole that is still spinning.
Alert viewers will notice a perspective error as the ball doesn't get small enough at the far end. But lo and behold, the animation, well, you'll see in a second.
As you'll see. Momentarily.
Was a very pleasant surprise.
Right when he drips out of here. Out he comes all liquefied. There's Jerry laughing at... Okay, now here comes the pencil test. This was going to be a really complicated scene. We took some stuff out. I can't remember what it was now, but there was a lot of maneuvering to get these characters in this room somehow. It's very important when you're animating characters that you compose your shots so that they feature the character.
You do only one thing at a time. That way you guys can follow the action if one thing at a time happens.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense as well as being funny and all that.
I love the animation of him getting squished into this chair. It turned out really good. Those drawings are funny.
The one shot of Jerry turning the dial up, which we keep coming back to here, was about the first scene they animated.
But there was enough for us to see that the sequence was going to work. That was it. Wow. And then when it comes off, we really wanted, throughout this whole film, to get back to the slam bang, I guess you could say, more sadistic side of Tom and Jerry, or the traditional side, really.
There isn't enough of that in the world right now, so we had to do more. And it's a fascinating idea. They did a great job. It's very easy to make a confusing film. It's not always easy to make a film that makes clarity as well as doing whatever
That makes
else.
sense.
Yeah. When you color drawings, they become much slower.
The color tends to
Slow it down because you're looking at lines here. When you color them in, they become masses, and that's what happens.
And here's our beautiful
Yes.
animation on the centrifuge, which actually worked.
But it's still drawn by hand. All the drawings you see are still drawn.
The
by hand.
old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
Tom looking very cat-like in that shot. Tom's not too bright, is he? Because he sees Jerry, he runs in there, and it's just an easy matter for Jerry to lock him in there. I like that animation there of him pounding. It felt really good there. I love him trapped in there in the window, just banging helplessly. Funny drawings are important in the animation process.
See how
We've discovered.
See how much we push that drawing. Next time you see Tom,
Look at that.
look at that. That's very it's
That's
exaggeration.
humorous.
You can't exaggerate it enough. Yes.
Yeah, I always tell my animators, if you think you've gone too far, you've probably just gone far enough. At this stage of the game, there will still be some mistakes. Mostly, I think, color problems. Well, something will be painted the wrong color, and we have to do some retakes. Then comes, the sound effects and the music. I love that. It bounces around on that thing. I like the way that lid just pops off there. And he's still alive after all that. And there's Jerry laughing once again at Tom's misfortune.
Is that it? Wow.
Wow. Okay, that's it.